let's talk about reparenting yourself. Here is a truth many do not want to face. Sometimes the father will never change. Sometimes the apology never comes. Sometimes the arms that should have held you never open. And yet, healing is still possible because within you is the power to reparent yourself, to become the father you never had. This means learning to speak to yourself with love, to protect your boundaries with strength, to encourage your dreams with belief. It means placing a hand on your own heart and saying, I see you. I am proud of you. I will never leave you. This is the work of reparenting. And though it may feel strange at first, it is one of the most powerful tools you will ever carry. Forgiveness is not about pretending the wound never happened. It is not about excusing the harm or erasing the pain. Forgiveness is about freedom. It is about releasing yourself from the chains of resentment that keep you tied to the past. Forgiveness does not mean you must reconcile. Forgiveness does not mean you must trust again. Forgiveness does not mean your father was right. Forgiveness means you will not let his actions define your future. You will not carry his shadow any longer. You forgive not because he deserves it, but because you deserve peace. The father wound leaves us hungry for affirmation, protection, and guidance. But here is the mystery. Those qualities already live inside you. Within you is an inner father, the archetype of strength, wisdom, and safety. Healing means awakening that inner father. It means becoming the protector you always needed, the encourager who believes in your dreams, the guide who walks beside you through every trial. When you claim the inner father, you stop looking outwards for validation. You begin to stand on your own ground. You become rooted, strong, unshakable. And in that strength, you can give to others what you once longed to receive. Healing is not a one-time event. It is a practice. And the practices that heal the father wound are simple, but powerful. Begin your day with words of worthiness. I am loved. I am enough. I am safe. Write letters to your younger self. Write the words your father never spoke. Learn to say no when you mean no. Learn to honor your needs without apology. Seek out healthy male role models, spiritual fathers, or communities that affirm your worth. Spend time in silence, listening not for the absent voice, but for your own. Every practice is a seed, and with time, the garden of your soul begins to bloom. Next, we discuss the power of choice. Here is the truth I want you to carry above all. You have a choice. The father wound is not your fault, but the healing is your responsibility and your power. You cannot change the past, but you can change the story you tell yourself about it. You can change the way it shapes your future. You can choose to be the cycle breaker, the chain breaker, the one who says it ends with me. And when you make that choice, you step into a life of freedom, wholeness, and love. Forgiveness is one of the hardest steps in this journey. It is also one of the most misunderstood. When I say forgive, I am not saying forget, excuse, pretend it didn't matter. No. Forgiveness is not about him. Forgiveness is about you. The father wound ties us to the past like chains. Every memory of abandonment, every harsh word, every silence becomes a weight. And resentment, though it feels righteous, becomes the lock that keeps those chains in place. But forgiveness is the key. Forgiveness says, I will not let your actions define my soul any longer. Forgiveness says, I release myself from carrying what was never mine to hold. Forgiveness says, you may have shaped my past, but you will not control my future. This is freedom. Now hear me. Forgiveness may not come at all at once. It may come in layers. Some days you feel it deeply, other days the pain resurfaces all over again. That is not failure. That is the process. Every act of letting go, no matter how small, is a victory. And you deserve that victory. Part of forgiveness is releasing the illusions we carry about who our father should have been. For years, many of us chased the ghost of the ideal father, the protector, the encourager, the man who would one day wake up and finally see us. We wait for the apology, the recognition, the moment of redemption. But healing comes when we release that fantasy. Not because we didn't deserve it. We did. Not because it wouldn't have mattered. It would have. But because holding on to the illusion keeps us locked in longing. When we release the illusion, we make space for reality. And reality is this: our Father was human, wounded, limited, flawed, and his failure to give love does not mean we are unlovable. The love we longed for can still be found within ourselves, within healthy relationships, within the greater spirit that holds us all.